A Hospice Palliative Care Guide. Chapter 1. Hospice Care/Palliative Care. Hospice Care/Palliative Care 1. Hospice care is an option if you feel you are no longer benefiting from cancer treatments. Choosing hospice care doesn't mean that you've given up. It just means the treatment goals are different at this point. Check with the hospice to learn what treatments and services are covered. Check with your insurance company. The goal of hospice is to help patients live to the fullest by making them comfortable and lessen their symptoms. Hospice doctors, nurses, spiritual leaders, social workers and volunteers are dedicated to supporting their patients' and families' emotional, social, and spiritual needs as well as dealing with patients' medical symptoms. People usually qualify for hospice services when their doctor signs a statement that says that patients with their type and stage of disease, on average, aren't likely to survive beyond 6 months. Many people don't realize that they can use hospice services for a number of months, not just a few weeks. You will be reviewed periodically to see if hospice care is still right for you. Services may include doctor services, you may still keep your own doctors, too. Nursing care, medical supplies and equipment, drugs to manage cancer-related symptoms and pain, short-term inpatient care, homemaker and home health aid services, respite, relief, services for caregivers, counseling, social work services, spiritual care, bereavement, grief, counseling, volunteer services. National Hospice and Palliative Care Organization. 800-658-8898. nhpco.org. Hospice Care/Palliative Care 2. Hospices are places where dying people go to live together for the remaining few months, or days, of their lives with dignity in an atmosphere of supportive patients like themselves and caregivers. The philosophy is that dying is a part of life and shouldn't be shunted into the background like most hospitals and nursing homes treat it. A hospice offers care in a home or home-like setting for people who are dying. They're not trying to cure them, just focusing on making them comfortable for the rest of their lives, minimizing pain, offering emotional support and quality of life for the time remaining. Whereas conventional hospital-based care focuses on trying to cure the disease, hospice care stops this aggressive approach and focuses on pain relief and living peacefully with oneself for your remaining days. The patient's family is included in the care, receiving education and support during the final days and for a time after the death of a loved one. A lot of hospices have bereavement support groups for anyone who wants to attend. Most hospice patients have cancer, AIDS, or heart disease. Hospice care is an upfront approach to the inevitable. Hospice care may be done at home, hospice facility, hospital, or nursing home. They're not trying to cure the patient, just make death more bearable. The hospice concept combines medical, psychological, and spiritual factors to make life as comfortable as possible for the patients. It was imported from England during the early 70s and has come a long way since then. It has come into vogue with the proliferation of the AIDS epidemic, however. Most hospice patients are over 65 and have some form of terminal illness like cancer. Some private, for-profit hospitals and nursing homes are against hospices because they take away from their business, so you'll get some animosity to them within the medical profession, but overall, the prognosis is good. There are special hospices for children, AIDS patients, older people, demographics like Jewish, particular diseases, etc. They also help the other members of the family deal with it and grieve properly after the death through bereavement programs and support groups. Legally speaking, nobody can force anybody else into a hospice. The decision has to be made by the individual. With children, parents must make the decision on their behalf. Anybody going to a hospice should get their final affairs in order, draw up the usual papers like a will, advance directive, living will and a durable power of attorney, healthcare proxy. Most hospice care is covered at least partially by most health insurance programs if the physician recommends it, as well as by Medicaid and Medicare. Overall, hospices are cheaper than hospitals and nursing homes, although an emerging trend is to care for the terminal patient at home as already discussed. There is a hospice organization in almost every state. Contact the National Hospice Organization for the current address and for more general information. Palliative care is the term used to denote the medical team at the hospital who oversee dying patients made up of doctors, nurses, aides, psychiatrists, social workers, death specialists, etc. They try to heal people, keep them alive, then when all else fails, go for comfort, pain control. Hospice care is covered under Medicare Part A, hospital insurance. You're eligible for Medicare hospice benefits when you are eligible for Medicare Part A and your doctor and the hospice director certify that you are terminally ill and probably have less than 6 months to live, and you sign a statement choosing hospice care instead of routine Medicare covered benefits for your terminal illness, and you receive care from a Medicare-approved hospice program. Most people who go to a hospice have it paid for by Medicare, but the catch-22 is that you have to be certified to have less than 6 months left by a doctor and the hospice medical director. People live many years with a terminal, debilitating illness, and it's difficult for doctors to judge when someone has less than 6 months to go, so because they don't want to look like fools, they refrain from certifying too many people as having only 6 months left unless they're reasonably sure. Chapter 2. Hospice websites / palliative care websites. Hospice websites / palliative care websites. 1. Stephen Levine and Elizabeth Kubler-Ross are the traditional leaders in this field. For books about terminal care and hospice care, refer to number 362.11 to number 362.196 or R726.8 at the library. Books about dying at home are at number 362.196 or R726 at the library. HospiceNet.org, HospicePatients.org, Hospice Patient Alliance, HospiceFoundation.org, Hospice Foundation of America, APM.org, American Academy of Hospice and Palliative Medicine, ABCD-CARING.org, Americans for Better Care of the Dying, Washington, D.C. ACOR.org, click on mailing lists then Cancer Hospice. AIDC.org, Association for Death Education and Counseling. AmericanHospice.org. AngelsInWaitingHospice.com, Fort Worth Hospice, Texas. AutumnJourneyHospice.com, Autumn Journey Hospice of North Texas. CalHospice.org, California Hospice and Palliative Care Association. California.providence.org/TrinityCare-Hospice. CAPC.org, Center to Advance Palliative Care. SCCSweb.com, SCCS Home Health and Hospice, Derby KS. CAPC.org, Palliative Care Training. CapitalHospice.org. CARECenter.org, Midwest Palliative and Hospice Care Center. Karingianfo.org, National Consumer and Community Engagement Initiative to Improve Care at the End of Life. Karingianfo.org, National Hospice Foundation. ChiOnline.org, 800-24 Child, Children's Hospice. DianaSpencer.com/causes/palliative.asp. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/palliative_care. epec.net, Education in Palliative and End-of-Life Care. GetPalliativeCare.org, information about palliative care, how to get palliative care. growthhouse.org/pauliat.html. Hospice websites / palliative care websites. 2. HospiceBuffalo.com, Buffalo, New York. HospiceCare.com, 866-374-2472, 936-321-9846. HospiceCare.com, International Association for Hospice and Palliative Care. HospiceCaring.com, Madison and Janesville-based Hospice Care Center, Wisconsin. HospiceCares.com. HospiceCares.net. HospiceEcoix.com. HospiceDirectory.org, provides facility to find hospices anywhere in USA and Canada using a state, city, zip code search. hospicedirectory.org/cm/about/state_hospice hospicedirectory.org hospicefoundation.org hospicefoundation.org Hospice Foundation of America, a non-profit organization. hospicehalifax.com, Nova Scotia, Canada. hospiceinfo.org 800-338-8619 hospiceinformation.info hospiceofmetrodenver.org hospiceofmontgomery.org, Alabama. hospicepatients.org hospicepatients.org hospicepatients.org, Consumer Advocacy Resource Center for Hospice Patients, Families, Caregivers. hospicebca.org, Central New York, Liverpool. hospice-spc-council.org.uk hospiceworld.org, 800-331-1620 ippcweb.org, Initiative for Pediatric Palliative Care. Hospice websites / palliative care websites 3. lastacts.org mayoclinic.com/health/hospice-care palliative.org palliativecare.msu.edu palliativecare.org palliativecarenursing.net palmed.net partnershipforcaring.org 800-989-9455 End of life issues such as advance directives. Hospice websites / palliative care websites 4. apm.org, American Academy of Hospice and Palliative Medicine. palliative-medicine.org, Association for Palliative Medicine of Great Britain and Ireland. listserv.acor.org/archives/cancer-hospice.html, cancer. Hospice, email list, ACOR. capcmssm.org, Center to Advance Palliative Care, the Mount Sinai School of Medicine, New York. Online resource for hospitals and health systems interested in developing palliative care programs. chionline.org, Children's Hospice International. claire-house.org.uk, Clare House Children's Hospice. Merseyside, Cheshire, North Wales and the Isle of Man. maruzza.it, Foundation Maruzza Favre di Oviedo of Vatican. Foundation provides care to terminally ill cancer patients. Children's Cancer Hospice in collaboration with Ospedale Bambino Gesù in Rome. growthhouse.org/hospice.html, Growth House Guide to Hospice and Home Care. hospicefoundation.org, Hospice Foundation of America. edc.org/lastactsview, Innovations in End-of-Life Care. Online forum and peer-reviewed journal for health professionals in end-of-life care. isabelhospice.org, Isabel Hospice, Hertfordshire, UK. Welwyn Hatfield, East Herts District and Broxbourne Borough Council areas. libertpub.com/jpmview, Journal of Palliative Medicine, A. Journal of the American Academy of Hospice and Palliative Medicine. hospice-spc-council.org.uk, National Council for Hospice and Specialist Palliative Care Services, UK. Hospice websites at cali.org/health/medicine/facilities/hospice. Subcategories: Pediatric, Europe, North America, Oceania. bbg.org.za/hospice/index.htm, Blessed Gerard's Hospice, objective is to care and counsel persons afflicted with AIDS or HIV. Mondani, South Africa. davidkessler.org, David Kessler and Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, includes hospice and end-of-life resources with frequently asked questions about death and dying, as well as a hospice locator and helpful articles. hadassah.org.il/eng_sub-nav/departments/medical+departments/hospice, Ina and Jack K. Center for Supportive Care, Hospice in the Hadassah Medical Center in Jerusalem. hospice-africa.merseyside.org, Hospice Africa, helping to establish hospice care in Africa, to provide or support the provision of palliative care to terminally ill cancer patients in the African setting. HospiceFoundation.org, Hospice Foundation of America, a not-for-profit organization that provides leadership in the development and application of hospice and its philosophy of care. HospiceNet.org, Hospice, provides information on hospice care, terminal illness, end-of-life issues, caregiving, and grief. HospicePatients.org, Hospice Patients Alliance, includes resources to help patients and families obtain the very best hospice services and resolve problems. scu.edu/hospice, the hospice homepage, useful ideas and topics of interest for hospice organizations. stlukes.co.za, St. Luke's Hospice, charity caring for terminally ill patients in and around Cape Town, South Africa. WILLEN-HOSPICE.org.uk, Willen Hospice, registered charity specializing in care for people living with cancer and life-limiting illnesses. Milton Keynes, Buckinghamshire, England. Hospice websites at blog.feedspot.com/hospice_blogs. blog.feedspot.com/category/palliative-care. 1800hospice.com/hospice-blog. autumnvet.com/category/blog. blog.feedspot.com/uk_hospice_blogs/?src also in. butterflyhospice.org/blog. capc.org/blog. eapcnet.wordpress.com. getpalliativecare.org/blog. hospicebuthibae.org/r-blog. hospicegso.org/caregivers-blog. hospiceofthegood-shepherd.com/news. jerseyhospicecare.com/news. lifeanddeathmatters.ca/blog. mainhospicecouncil.org/index.php/blog-2. nhpco.blogspot.com. palliativecarenetwork.com/blog. pikespeakhospice.org/blog/pikes-peak-hospice. pilgrimshospices.org/about-us/news. rainbows.co.uk/blog. seasonshospice.com/blog. thadenverhospice.org/blog. togetherforshortlives.org.uk/about-us/news-media/news. Children's Hospice websites. arosekereshome.ca, a children's hospice. chionline.org, 800-242-4453, Children's Hospice. francishoes.org.uk, Francis House Children's Hospice caring for children with a short life expectancy. brcottage.chw.edu.au, Bear Cottage, NSW. canuckplace.org, Canuck Place Children's Hospice. Sick Children in BC, Canada. claire-house.org.uk, Clare House Children's Hospice. UK. darionhouse.co.uk, Darien House Children's Hospice. UK. francishoes.org.uk, Francis House Children's Hospice. UK. georgemark.org, George Mark Children's House. California. martinhouse.org.uk, Martin House Hospice. England. naomihouse.org.uk, Naomi House. UK. richardhouse.org.uk, Richard House. UK. rogershouse.ca, Rogers House. Canada. vsk.org.au, Very Special Kids. Australian Children's Hospice. Children's Hospice International. 700 Princess St. Alexandria, Virginia 22314. 800-242-4453. 703-684-0330. chionline.org. Chapter 3. A Hospice Resource Guide. Hospice Resources. Choice in Dying National Office. 1035, 30th St. Northwest Washington, D.C. 20007. 800, 989 Will. 202-338-9790. Fax, 202-338-0242. Choices.org. Foundation for Hospice and Home Care. 320A St. N.E. Washington, D.C. 20002. 202-547-6586. Help people set up home and hospice care. Educational material as well. Heritage Home Health/Hospice. 800-244-5421 NH only. Hospice Association of America. Hospice Link Referral Service. 228 7th St. Southeast. Washington, D.C. 20003. 202-546-4759. Fax, 202-547-6638. Fax, 202-547-3540. nasi.org. nasi.org/haa/home.html. hospice-america.org. Organization for Professionals and Hospice Workers. General information about hospice to consumers. Hospice Care Newsletter. 3400 70th Avenue North. Pinellas, Florida 33702. 813-521-1199. Hospice Education Institute. 190 Westbrook Road. Essex, Connecticut 06426. 800-331-1620. 860-767-1620. Fax, 860-767-2746. hospiceall@aol.com. hospiceworld.org. General information and materials about hospice care. Makes referrals to local programs. Hospice and Palliative Nurses Association. Medical Center E. Number 375. 211 North Whitfield St. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania 15206. 412-361-2470. hpna.org. Hospice Foundation of America/HFA. 2001 S Street, NW. Number 300. Washington, D.C. 20009. 800-854-3402. 202-638-5419. Fax, 202-638-5312. hospicefoundation.org. Range of programs on hospice care, a hospice locator service and educational programs. Hospice Institute for Education Training and Research. 765 Prospect St. New Haven, Connecticut 06511. 203-787-5871. Training for hospice workers and families of terminally ill patients. HospiceNet. 401 Bowling Avenue No. 51. Nashville, TN 37205-5124. HospiceNet.org. Articles regarding end-of-life issues. Answer questions via email. HospiceWorld.org. 800-331-1620. hospiceall@aol.com. Hospice Education Institute. Joint Commission on Accreditation of Healthcare Organizations. 1 Renaissance Boulevard, Oak Brook Terrace, Illinois 60181. 630-792-5000. Fax, 630-792-5005. jcaho.org. Awards accreditation to more than 18,000 healthcare organizations in the United States, including hospice agencies. Provides information about accreditation status. Medicare Bureau of Eligibility. Reimbursement and coverage. Healthcare Financing Administration. 7500 Security Boulevard, Baltimore, Maryland 21244-1850. 800 Medicare. 877-486-2048, TDD. Medicare.gov. Free booklet Medicare Hospice Benefits. National Association for the Terminally Ill. epub 368. Shelbyville, Kentucky 40066. 888-847-0390. Terminallyill.org. Helps terminally ill people and their families. National Consumers League. 815 15th St. Northwest. Number 928. Washington, D.C. 20005. 800-639-8140. 202-639-8140. nclnet.org. Free booklet, A Consumer Guide to Hospice Care. National Hospice and Palliative Care Organization /NGO. 1700 Diagonal Road. Number 300. Arlington, Virginia 22314. 800-658-8898. 703-243-5900. 703-837-1500. Fax, 703-525-5762. info@nhpco.org. nhpco.org. nho.org. Information about hospice programs in local areas. National Hospice Organization. 1901 Northmore St. Number 901. Arlington, Virginia 22209. 800-658-8898. 703-243-5900. nho.org. Care, Education, and Referrals. National Institute for Jewish Hospice. 8723 Alden Drive. Number 219. Los Angeles, California 90048. 800-446-4448. 310-854-3036. Support Organization for Terminally Ill Jewish People. Purdue Frederick CO. 100 Connecticut Avenue. Norwalk, Connecticut 06856. 203-853-0123. Free booklet, Home Care of the Hospice Patient. Accrediting agencies for home care and hospice healthcare at nacc.org/consumers-home-care-hospice-basics/accrediting-agencies. Accreditation Commission for Healthcare, Inc. 855-937-2242. achc.org. Community Health Accreditation Program. 212-363-5555 or 800-669-1656, extension 242. chapinc.org. Joint Commission on Accreditation of Healthcare Organizations. 630-792-5000. jointcommission.org. Hospice websites at nac.org/resources-services-home-care-hospice-links. National Association for Home Care and Hospice. 228 7th Street SE Washington, D.C. 20003. 202-547-7424. Fax, 202-547-3540. nac.org. Twitter.com/officialnahc, Twitter. Facebook.com/nac.org, Facebook. LinkedIn.com/company/10363111, LinkedIn. nac.org. nac.org/consumers-information/home-care-hospice-basics, home care and hospice basics. nac.org/consumers-information/home-care-hospice-basics/accrediting-agencies, accrediting agencies. nac.org/resources-services-services/home-care-hospice-locator, home care and hospice agency locator. Hospice.nasi.org. Chapter 4. Hospice Agencies by U.S. State. State Hospice Agencies. Alabama. 334-213-7944. Alaska. 907-352-4800. 907-463-3113. Arizona. 602-704-0210. Arkansas. 501-713-7385. California. 916-441-3770. Colorado. 303-449-1142. Connecticut. 860-233-2222. Delaware. 302-478-5707. Florida. 800-838-9800. 850-878-2632. Georgia. 770-924-6073. Hawaii. 808-924-9255. Idaho. 208-726-8464. Illinois. 713-324-8844. Indiana. 317-338-4049. Iowa. 515-243-1040. Kansas. 316-263-6380. Kentucky. 888-322-7317. Louisiana. 504-945-2414. Maine. 207-626-0651. Maryland. 410-729-4571. Massachusetts. 781-255-7077. Michigan. 517-886-6667. Minnesota. 651-659-0423. Mississippi. 601-366-9881. Missouri. 662-232-7891. Montana. 406-247-3300. Nebraska. 308-687-6065. Nevada. 702-796-5531. New Hampshire. 603-228-9870. New Jersey. 908-233-0060. New Mexico. 512-454-1247. 800-580-9270. New York. 518-446-1483. North Carolina. 919-878-1717. North Dakota. 701-774-7430. Ohio. 614-274-9513. Oklahoma. 800-356-0622. 918-835-6742. Oregon. 503-228-2104. Pennsylvania. 717-230-9993. Puerto Rico. 787-897-0503. Rhode Island. 401-444-9070. South Carolina. 919-878-1717. South Dakota. 605-668-8327. Tennessee. 615-228-1128. 800-638-6411. Texas. 512-454-1247. 800-580-9270. Utah. 801-321-5661. Vermont. 802-229-0579. Virginia. 540-686-6448. Washington. 509-456-0438. West Virginia. 304-529-4217. Wisconsin. 608-233-7166. Wyoming. 307-362-1990. Chapter 5. Hospice and Palliative Care Associations and Organizations from the Agape-Center.com. Hospice Organizations. Caring Connections. 800-658-8898. Multilingual line, 877-658-8896. Karingianfo@nhpco.org. Karingianfo.org. Information on palliative care and end-of-life issues. Center to Advance Palliative Care. The Center to Advance Palliative Care. 1255 Fifth Avenue No. C2. NYC 10029. 212-201-2670. capc.org. Provides healthcare professionals with the tools to start palliative care programs. Hospice and Palliative Care Association of New York State. 21 Aviation Road No. 9. Albany, New York 12205. 518-446-1483. Fax, 518-446-1484. hpcaneys.org. National Hospice and Palliative Care Organization. 1700 Diagonal Road No. 625. Alexandria, Virginia 22314. 703-837-1500. Fax, 703-837-1233. 800-568-8898. nhpco.org. Hospice and Palliative Care Associations and Organizations. APM.org, American Academy of Hospice and Palliative Medicine, APM. ABHPM.org, American Board of Hospice and Palliative Medicine, ABITM. AmericanHospice.org, American Hospice Foundation, AHF. ABCDcaring.org, Americans for Better Care of the Dying, ABCD. APHN.org, Asia Pacific Hospice Palliative Care Network, APHN. ACT.org, UK, Association for Children with Life-Threatening Illnesses, ACT, United Kingdom, UK. PalliativeMedicine.org, Association for Palliative Medicine of Great Britain and Ireland, APM, United Kingdom, UK. ChildHospice.org, UK, Association of Children's Hospices, ACH, United Kingdom, UK. CAPCMSSM.org, Center to Advance Palliative Care, CAPC. CHIOnline.org, Children's Hospice International, CHI. ePERC.mcw.edu, End of Life Physician Education Resource Center, APERC. EAPCnet.org, European Association for Palliative Care, EAPC. HospiceAfrica.org, Hospice Africa. HPNA.org, Hospice and Palliative Nurses Association, HPNA. HospiceAmerica.org, Hospice Association of America, HA. HospiceFoundation.org, Hospice Foundation of America, HFA. HospicePatients.org, Hospice Patients Alliance Consumer Advocates. INDPAC.org, O. Indigenous Palliative Care Project Australia, O. IIPCA.org, Initiative to Improve Palliative Care for African Americans, IPCA. HospiceCare.com, International Association for Hospice and Palliative Care, IOPC. LastACTS.org, Last Acts Campaign to Improve End-of-Life Care. HospicesPCCouncil.org, UK, National Council for Hospice and Specialist Palliative Care Services, NCHSPCS, United Kingdom, UK. NHPCO.org, National Hospice and Palliative Care Organization, NPCO. Hospiceinfo.org, National Hospice Foundation, NHF. Hospiceregattas.org, National Hospice Regatta Alliance, NHRA. Palliativecare.gov.au, National Palliative Care Programme, NPCP, Australia, O. NPHA.org, National Prison Hospice Association, NPHA. PLCare.org, O. Palliative Care Australia, PCA, Australia, O. PCRS.sghms.ac.uk, Palliative Care Research Society, PCRS, United Kingdom, UK. Partnershipforcaring.org, Partnership for Caring, PFC. PromotingExcellence.org, Promoting Excellence in End-of-Life Care. WHO.org, World Home Care and Hospice Organization, WHHO. Australia Hospice. ANZSPM.org, O. Australian and New Zealand Society of Palliative Medicine, ANZSPM. APACproject.org, Australian Palliative Aged Care Project, APAC, Australia, O. PalliativeCareNSW.org.au, Palliative Care Association of New South Wales, PCNSW, New South Wales, Australia, O. PLCare.asn.au, Palliative Care Council of South Australia, PCSA, South Australia, Australia, O. PaulCareqld.com, Palliative Care Queensland, PCQ, Queensland, Australia, O. PLCarevic.asn.au, Palliative Care Victoria, PCV, Victoria, Australia, O. PalliativeCarua.asn.au, Palliative Care Western Australia, PCWA, Western Australia, Australia, O. Hospice organizations by U.S. state. alhospice.org, Alabama Hospice Organization, AHO. abcle.org, Alabamians for Better Care at Life's End, ABCL. arizonahospice.org, Arizona Hospice and Palliative Care Organization, OPCO. carolinasendoflifecare.org, Carolinas Center for Hospice and End-of-Life Care. coloradohospice.org, Colorado Hospice Organization, CHO. MissouriEndofLife.org, Community Alliance for Compassionate Care at the End of Life, Springfield, Missouri, MO. FloridaHospices.org, Florida Hospices and Palliative Care, Inc. HospiceFed.org, Hospice and Palliative Care Federation of Massachusetts. HospiceMN.org, Hospice Minnesota, HM. HNMD.org, Hospice Network of Maryland, HNM. WisconsinHospice.com, Hospice Organization and Palliative Experts, HOPE, of Wisconsin. HospiceIdaho.org, Idaho State Hospice Organization, ISHO. ISHO.org, Illinois Hospice and Palliative Care Organization, IPCO. INDHomecare.org, Indiana Association for Home and Hospice Care, IAC. KAH.org, Kentucky Association of Hospice and Palliative Care, COPC. LMHPCO.org, Louisiana-Mississippi Hospice and Palliative Care Organization, LMITPCO. EndofLifeCommission.org, Massachusetts Commission on End-of-Life Care. MeHospice.org, Michigan Hospice and Palliative Care Organization, MITPCO. NHO.org, New Hampshire Hospice and Palliative Care Organization, NHPCO. Hospice.org, Ohio Hospice and Palliative Care Organization, OPCO. SouthDakotaHospice.org, South Dakota Hospice Organization, SDHO. TXNMHospice.org, Texas and New Mexico Hospice Organization, TUNMO. UtahHospice.org, Utah Hospice Organization, UHO. WVInitiative.org, West Virginia Center for End-of-Life Care. Chapter 6. A Canadian Hospice Guide. Canadian Hospice Info. CHPCA.net, Canadian Hospice Palliative Care Association, CHPCA. PLCare.org, University of Ottawa Institute of Palliative Care Ontario, Canada, CA. Hospicebc.org, British Columbia Hospice-Palliative Care Association, BCPCA, British Columbia, Canada, CA. LionsgateHospiceSociety.org, Lionsgate Hospice Society, LGHS, North Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, CA. HospiceHalifax.org, Canadian Hospice Palliative Care Association. 43, Brewer St. Number 131C. Ottawa, on KIN 5C8. 613-241-3663. 800-668-2785. chpca.net. Hospice Palliative Care Info Line. 877-203-4636. Fax, 613-241-3986. info@chpca.net. chpca.net. Hospice by Province. Hospice Association of Ontario. 27, Carleton St. Number 201. Toronto, on, MSB 1L2. 416-304-1477 800-349-3111. Hospice.on.ca. Alberta Hospice Palliative Care Association. Hospice Calgary. 908-33 4th Avenue Southwest. Calgary AB. 403-206-9938. BC Hospice Palliative Care Association. Number 502. Comox Building. 1081 Burrard Street. Vancouver, BC. 604-806-8821. Hospicebc.org. Canuck Place Children's Hospice. 1690 Matthews Avenue. Vancouver, BC. 604-731-4847. canuckplace.org. Evergreen Hospice. 6060 Highway 7. Markham, on. 905-472-5014. evergreenhospice.org. Hospice of Peel. 1-855 Matheson Boulevard, East. Mississauga, on. 905-712-8119. hospiceofpeel.com. Hospice and Palliative Care Manitoba. 2109 Portage Avenue, Winnipeg, MB. 204-889-8525. manitobahospice.ca. Hospice of Waterloo Region. Pioneer Terrace. 2ND floor. 3570 King Street East. Kitchener, on. 519-894-8350. hospicewaterloo.ca. Hospice Association of Ontario. Number 707. 2 Carleton Street, Toronto, on. 416-304-1477. hospice.on.ca. Hospice Palliative Care Association of Prince Edward Island. 5 Brighton Road, Charlottetown, PE. 902-368-4498. hospicebay.ca. Hospice Caledon. 18 King Street East, Upper Level, Bolton, on. 905-951-3534. hospicecaledon.ca. Hospice Kent. 48 Millennium Parkway Belleville, on. K8N4Z5. hospice-quinte.ca. Hospice of London. 837 Talbot Street, London, on. 519-438-2102. hospiceoflondon.com. Hospice Wellington. 107 Woodlawn Road West, Guelph, on. 519-836-3921. hospicewellington.org. Huron Hospice Volunteer Service. 24 Centennial Drive, POG 99, Seaforth, on. 519-527-0655. New Brunswick Hospice-Palliative Care Association. 14 Aberdeen Street, Miramichi NB. 506-773-6951. Nova Scotia Hospice-Palliative Care Association. 207 Willow Street, Truro, NS. 902-893-7171. nshpca.ca. Pilgrims Hospice. 9808 148th Street, Edmonton, IB. 780-413-9801. pilgrimshospice.ca. Providence Care, St. Mary's of the Lake Hospital Site. Rehabilitation and Geriatric Medicine, Complex Continuing Care and Palliative Care. 340 Union Street, Kingston, on. 613-544-5220. pccchealth.org. Saskatchewan Hospice Palliative Care Association. Box 37053. Regina SK. 306-861-2568. saskpalliativecare.ca. The Carpenter Hospice. 2250 Parkway Drive, Burlington, on L7P1T1. thecarpenterhospice.com. The Hospice of Windsor and Essex County Inc. 6038 Empress Street, Windsor, on. 519-974-7100. HospiceWindsorEssex.com. Victoria Hospice. 1952 Bay Street, Victoria, BC. 250-370-8715. viha.ca. Wellspring at Hospice of Windsor and Essex County. 6038 Empress St. Number 283. Windsor, on. 519-974-7100. Wellspring.ca. Wellspring at Hospice Northwest. 63 Carey Street, Thunder Bay, on. P7A4J2. Wellspring.ca. Wellspring at Matthews House Hospice. 6028 Highway 89. Alliston, on. 705-432-7218. Wellspring.ca. Wellspring at Doan House Hospice. 17100 Yonge Street, Newmarket, on. 905-967-0259. Wellspring.ca.